Cottage is a beautiful example of a traditional Irish cottage. Such cottages date from 1700s onwards, and prior to that our ancestors lived in round hut-style dwellings built of wattle and daub. These cottages were usually built around a living area in the centre with 2 bedrooms at either end. The hearth was the soul of the cottage and was used for heating, drying, cooking and gathering around the embers, as they were never allowed to extinguish. Cottages were usually built with no foundations, and the floors were made from compacted mud, clay or flagstone. The roof was usually stuffed with turf for insulation and thatched with heathers, rushes or wheaten straw, depending on the location. As durable as they are environmentally friendly, Irish thatched cottages are the products of centuries of history and tradition. While they currently make up less than 0.1 of the total housing stock in Ireland, in the 1800s as much as half the population slept under thatched roofs. The materials used for construction varied across the years, from region to region and depending on the wealth of the family. For the walls, lime mortar was the most desirable but also the most expensive material. Mud tempered with strengthening agents such as straw, reeds or animal matter was a popular alternative. For the iconic roofs, overlapping layers of sod were placed on the timbers. On top of this went the straw thatch, derived from a variety of materials such as wheat and flax. Carefully cut and threaded by a thatcher in either the slice or sketch style. It would often take as many as 5,000 handfuls of straw to complete a roof. The trade of thatching was passed down through the generations from father to son. The work was fairly steady, since thatching must be replaced anywhere from every 5 to 20 years depending on the material and its condition. Restoration began in the house in 2003. As the house developed over time, so did the windows. The original windows would have been small 1 to 4 panes of glass set in a frame which did not open. Certain features from larger houses were later adapted and used, such as Georgian-style windows, a sash window with 9 or 12 panes of glass. The back kitchen window and the lower bedroom were originals, but unfortunately there was too much rock to save them, so they had to be replaced. The builders kept the design of the window but changed how they opened so they could be used as fire escape if required. Because the roof was in such disrepair, it was mostly fully replaced. As the cottage was intended for commercial use, there was a requirement to include galvanised sheeting so as to protect the house and thatch from fire. An extension was added to the rear of the cottage. The main requirement was space and storage, and how to ensure that one did not impact on the other. To achieve this required floor space, the only appropriate solution that would not impact on the cottage appearance was to extend the existing kitchen dining area towards the rear of the house. This allowed us to create what is effectively 3 separate functioning areas within one space: kitchen, dining, family. The extension is not visible from the public road, which allows for the retention of the traditional profile of the house and also ensures privacy for the occupants. To avoid unnecessary clutter and increased storage, an external utility room was incorporated as part of the new garden shed, which replaced an old timber construction. itself was usually very deep and extending to the ceiling, with the chimney stack protruding further above the roof. As a result of this, the chimney wall is often one of the best preserved features of abandoned cottages today. The fireplace was the heart and soul of the cottage, about which daily life revolved, cooking, drying, heating, and a focal centre for social gatherings. The fire was never allowed to be extinguished, with ashes strewn over it at night to keep the embers alive for the morning. The importance of the hearth in cottage life is illustrated in one of the most famous sayings, loosely translated as "there's no place like home." The actual literal translation is "there's no fireplace like your own fireplace."